Welcome to American News Network, where we bring you news that affect Americans and America. Right now, we have a great interview. It leads into the Joe Rogan show, but it is brought to you by Tucker Carlson, and it is about Kevin O'Leary opening up AI centers. Something to take into consideration as we look into the future is the fact that the future is going to hold dominance by whoever has power by maintaining data and information, military force, as well as economic power. And having AI centers and data centers and being ahead in that particular area, that's exactly what Kevin O'Leary is looking ahead and seeing. And it's interesting because this is a cornerstone of how we're going to maintain dominance in the future as America and Americans. So I'd like to have you watch this fantastic interview. And it's an opportunity for us to understand what AI centers are that are coming to Utah, how uninvasive they are, and also how fantastic the future looks for America.
But now is exactly the time to talk to, I don't know the guy managing it exactly, but certainly the face of the world's largest data center in Utah. And that'd be Kevin O'Leary, who is famous to people who watch cable television as one of the hosts for many years of Shark Tank. Also, as you'll find out in a minute, an enormously nice guy, genial guy. Maybe that's why he's out explaining what the data center is, because it's pretty hard to dislike him personally.
There's a big anti-data center push. There's a big populist kind of revolt in the country against building new AI data centers.
Yeah, I watched Kevin O'Leary argue with Tucker Carlson about that.
Yeah, so Kevin has this huge project in Utah.
Right.
And he's bought, I don't know the exact, I think he's bought like 40,000 acres of land, and the vast majority of it's going to be just pristine land. But he needed it for the water rights, and then he's building the data center. And because it's a bit of a weird issue, because if you're ever going to build anything, a data center is like the most benign thing you could ever build, because it doesn't do anything.
What is it for?
It just sits there. You just like rack up thousands and thousands of computers in racks.
Right, for what?
To run anything that can run on computers, but specifically to run AI. The thing that has people freaked out is to run AI. I mean, everything else, every other kind of software runs in these things also, but
right.
AI is the thing that's activated though.
But this data center is the size of 2,000 Walmarts.
Yeah, that's right. It's going to be. Right. It's going to be it's going to be in the middle of nowhere. It's in the middle of nowhere. It's going to be surrounded by natural beauty. It's going to be in 39,000 whatever 900 of the acres are going to be preserved natural beauty, right? And so and you're never going to see it. It's off in the middle of nowhere, right, in the Utah desert somewhere.
Sounds like you're selling it.
I'm not involved in it. I'm not involved in it. Number two, the energy thing I think is a little bit of a red herring at this point, because the sort of claim, the claim is these data centers are going to they're going to use so much energy, and then they're going to cause local energy bills, to skyrocket. And I think it's very bad, by the way, when that happens. I think if a data center comes in, it should bring its own energy with it, or pay for the energy separately. There is a new federal policy now exactly along those lines that I think everybody's doing in practice, which is to pair. If you do a data center, you bring your own energy. So I think that can be dealt with. I was going to say, did you see Marty Supreme? Did you see the movie Marty Supreme?
No, I did not.
So Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank plays the bad guy in Marty Supreme.
Oh, does he?
And kills it. It's a legitimately great performance. It's absolutely, he plays a mid-century American businessman. He absolutely nails it. I'll spoil it. At one point, he literally spanks Marty. Because Marty's needs him for funding for all of his crazy dreams.
Please, I'm begging you, just let me go on your plane and let me join you there. Please, I'm humble.
You're making me sick.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Stand up.
All right.
One
side's wood, and the other is foam.
The great Kevin O'Leary was already a great investor, and he's a great actor, it turns out.
Right.
And he's building this giant data center.
The thing that got me motivated, though, was watching in the last 2 years this narrative in North America about how negative data centers are. It started in Virginia, actually. The idea that they consume a lot of water, that they are very noisy, and all that's true from stuff that was built 15 years ago, but today that's not the case. And yet the narrative kept going. And I thought, who's doing this? Who would not want us to have compute power? Who would not want us to build our power grid out? Because when you build a data center today, you have to develop your own power and you can sell it back to the grid. That's what we're doing in Utah. I'm thinking to myself, the Chinese, they don't want us to do that. And I went through that whole thing with TikTok, as you may recall, and I actually saw the evidence of how the Chinese were manipulating the algorithm. Now they're doing it a different way. And that just kind of pisses me off. So I'm happy to add compute. I don't want my kids in 20 years who live in New York being told what to eat for breakfast by the Chinese. So, I'm kind of on a mission here to compete.
Can you build anything in America anymore? Can you? Can you build a factory? Can you build a chip plant? Can you build a power plant? Can you build a refinery? Can you build a pipeline? Can you build housing? And one of the common themes in American life for the last 30 years is the answer to those questions is generally no. You can't do any of those things, right? So take as an example Silicon Valley, right? So all the chips are made in Taiwan. Well, 40 years ago, all the chips were made in California. Why are all the chips made in Taiwan? Because in California, the regulations got set so that you couldn't make chips in California anymore. So now they're all made in Taiwan. And now we have to figure out what to do if China invades Taiwan.
Okay, so the point, so you're doing this because it's a business opportunity, but also because China doesn't want you to do it. Why would China not want data centers built in the United States?
Because we're in a competition for AI compute. The nation that has the best AI models will be the winner of future wars. It'll have the most productive economy. We already know now, just looking at earnings that are coming out as we speak, Tucker, the earnings this quarter are unprecedented in terms of how good they are, because somehow, very quickly, and this is probably just serendipitous luck for this administration, AI compute is now being implemented in all 11 sectors of our economy, and it's enhancing both productivity and margin. So these companies are making a lot more money than they were anticipated to, because AI is very productive. And people debate about the job shift and everything else, but the fact is the economy's on fire, even at a time when we have conflict. So if I were the Chinese, the last thing I want in America is the 5 or 6 tech companies that are competing with me on DeepSeek having more compute capacity. I want to shut down every single proposal for every single data center in every single state. And I want agitators, I want paid protesters, I want environmentalists, I want to shut it all down so that they can't train their models as fast as I can. Meanwhile, the Chinese just built, in terms of new power in the last 18 months, 400 gigawatts of new power, all with coal burning turbines. Coal. They're not worried about the environment. The big guy over there says, build one here and then stick a data center beside it so I can train my DeepSeek model faster. And you've heard it from the Anthropic CEO this week. He came out, the stereo guy, and said, hey, they're going to catch up in 6 months. So everybody wake up and smell what's going on here. And I've started to dig in the last week, looking at all of these strings that are attacking the Utah proposal and the one I got up in Alberta. I'm going to where I can find power and developing these things, and I want the Chinese to see what we're doing.
Kevin O'Leary, on the forefront of economics. He's even on the forefront of future guidance, and he's on the forefront of what is now the AI boom. Just love this report. American News Network bringing you current events, bringing you important events, and bringing you information that affect Americans and America.